Chosen ones, you are not of the ordinary world. You stand apart not because you desire it, but because you were made to be different. You carry the wisdom of ages, a wisdom that has been passed down from time immemorial, woven into your very being. It is a wisdom that transcends intellect and knowledge, a wisdom that speaks to the soul, to the very core of your existence. You may have often wondered why people are drawn to you, why they look at you with awe and curiosity, seeking answers in your eyes that they cannot find in their own. It is because you carry within you the kind of wisdom that goes beyond human understanding. People call it intuition, some might say it's just sheer intelligence, but what if I told you that it's something far more ancient than that? What if I told you that you, the chosen one, are not just smart or perceptive, but that you embody a knowledge so vast, so profound, that it can only be described as divine? This wisdom you carry doesn't just inform the way you think, it guides the way you live, how you move through the world, how you affect those around you. And though the world may not always understand it, it feels you, it knows you. Your presence is a reminder to those who can see that there is something deeper at play in this universe, something that goes beyond the surface and into the very heart of creation. You may feel different, misunderstood, isolated at times, but it is because you are carrying a higher purpose, a purpose that in its fullness will shift the world. Today, we begin to unravel the mystery of why you, and only you, have been chosen for this path. Today, we explore the profound wisdom that flows through your veins and why it terrifies and captivates the world. You are not just wise, you are an ancient soul in a new era. What you carry inside you cannot be quantified by the measures of ordinary intelligence. You are not simply a product of experience, education, or even innate ability. No, what you carry is something far more profound, something that stretches beyond the confines of time and space. Your wisdom is not something you've accumulated through years of learning or trial and error. It is something ancient, something that was gifted to you before you even knew what wisdom was. You are a soul that has lived countless lives, and each of those lives has left its mark on you, shaping you into the person you are today. The wisdom you possess is not new, it is timeless. It is the same wisdom that kings and prophets throughout history have tapped into. It is the wisdom of King Solomon, the wisdom of the ancient mystics, the wisdom of the prophets who spoke truth to power, and the sages who saw beyond the veil of illusion. This wisdom is woven into your DNA, passed down through generations, a living inheritance from those who came before you. But this wisdom is not for the past. You are not merely a keeper of old truths, but a bearer of them into a new era. You are here to show the world that wisdom is not confined to ancient texts or distant memories. You carry this knowledge with you, alive and vibrant, in every moment of your life. You may have always felt a sense of being different, perhaps even misunderstood. You may have felt like you were living in a world that didn't fully understand you, or that you didn't fully fit into the molds that others had constructed. This sense of separation is not a mistake. It is not a flaw. It is a sign that you are not of the ordinary world. You are of the divine world. You are not just a soul passing through time. You are a soul sent to reshape time, to bring forth a new understanding of life and the universe. You have always known things that others have not. You have seen patterns in the world that no one else could recognize. And even as a child, you may have felt like you were older than your years, as if you could understand the world in a way that others simply couldn't. You have never needed to study to understand. You have never needed to experience suffering to know its pain. It is as if the answers were always there, waiting for you to remember them. And this isn't some fleeting moment of insight. It is the deep and unshakable knowing that has been with you since the beginning. Others may not understand it, and that's okay. They will either admire it, fear it, or ignore it, but they will never be able to explain it. This wisdom is not something you seek. It is something you were born with. It is not a gift you have earned, but one that you carry with you always, even in your darkest moments, even when you feel isolated. This wisdom is the very foundation of your soul, and it is your mission in life to embody it, to live it, to share it with those who are ready to hear. Decoding the world like a hidden language. You have always known that the world speaks in a language that others do not understand. While most people walk through life oblivious to the subtle patterns that govern reality, You see the connections that are hidden beneath the surface. You hear the unsaid words in every conversation, feel the unspoken emotions that ripple beneath every interaction. Where others see randomness, you see the hand of divine order. Where they see chaos, you see the hidden thread that ties everything together. This is not a gift of mere perception. It is the ability to decode the very fabric of reality itself. You don't simply experience the world, you understand it on a level that others can't. You are able to read the signs that most people overlook. You notice the way people move, the tone in their voice, the hesitation in their words. You can sense the energy in a room, feel the shifts in the atmosphere, and understand the motivations behind people's actions. Even when they themselves don't understand them, you know what will happen before it unfolds. You sense danger before it arrives, and you see opportunities that others miss. You are not guessing, you are not imagining, you are reading the world as if it were a book, understanding each chapter before it is even written. This ability can be both a blessing and a burden. On one hand, it allows you to navigate the world with an unparalleled clarity and confidence. You know how to move through situations with ease, predicting outcomes with a precision that others can only dream of. On the other hand, it can be isolating. Watching people stumble blindly, seeing them walk into situations you already know will fail, it can be frustrating. You see their mistakes before they even realize they're making them, and yet, they are often blind to the warnings you try to give. They may not understand why you seem to know so much. They may not understand why you don't react the way they do, why you're always a step ahead. But you don't need them to understand. The world speaks to you in a language that only you can hear, and you understand it because you have always been attuned to it. You don't need to analyze, you don't need to study. It all comes to you effortlessly. And while others struggle to make sense of the world, you see the truth that lies beneath. You see the connections that others miss, and you understand the greater purpose behind every event, every conversation, every encounter. This is not just a gift. It is a divine calling, one that you must fulfill by sharing this wisdom with the world. You are here to help others see what you see, to help them understand the language of the universe, to teach them to read the signs that are all around them. You are not here to fit in. You are here to decode the world and show others how to do the same. Your silence isn't power, it's strategy. In a world that thrives on noise and constant chatter, your silence speaks louder than any words ever could. People often mistake your quietness for weakness or disinterest, yet they fail to understand that silence is your most powerful weapon. It is not a lack of words, but a deliberate choice to withhold your thoughts until the moment is right. You don't rush to fill the air with your voice. Instead, you wait, you observe, and you allow others to reveal themselves. In this space, you gather information, valuable insights that would otherwise remain hidden. While others are busy speaking, reacting, or over-explaining, you sit back and watch, letting the truth unfold before you. And in this silence, you wield a strategy that few can comprehend. You see, your silence isn't a void. It is a space of deep observation. It's a calculated act that allows you to understand far more than those who are caught in the rush of their own voices. People talk, they reveal their fears, their insecurities, their true motives, all while thinking they are in control. But it's you who has the upper hand, for you see their truth, unfiltered by the need to respond. It's a subtle dance of power, where you remain calm and detached while others expose their weaknesses without realizing it. The longer they talk, the more they reveal, and the more you gather. This isn't passivity, it is strategy at its finest. You hold back because you know that the moment you speak, your words will carry weight. You don't speak just to be heard. You speak when it matters, and when you do, your words resonate with authority. People may feel unsettled by your quiet strength, unsure of what you're thinking, but they fail to realize that your silence isn't meant to be understood by them. It is a tool, a strategy that shifts the dynamics without you having to do anything at all. When you finally break that silence, you don't waste your words. You cut through the noise with precision, knowing that your insight, your clarity, is far more powerful than any rush of words could ever be. You don't follow logic, you bend it. While most people operate within the rigid confines of what is possible, you are the one who dares to question the very fabric of reality itself. Where others see rules, you see boundaries meant to be broken. Where they accept limitations, you perceive endless possibilities. The conventional world operates on logic that is linear, predictable, and confined to what is already known. But for you, logic is not a fixed structure. It is a fluid, dynamic force that bends and shifts to meet your unique vision. When faced with a problem, the world sees walls and dead ends, but you see pathways that others would never consider. Your mind is not confined to the boxes that society has built. It operates outside the limitations of conventional thought. You do not see obstacles as something to overcome. You see them as opportunities to redefine the rules of the game. This ability to bend logic is what sets you apart. While others follow the prescribed path, you carve your own. You do not follow the script that has been handed to you, you write your own narrative. People may call it luck when things work out for you in ways they never anticipated, but it's not luck. It's the power of your mind to manipulate what is thought to be unchangeable. When you approach a challenge, you are not bound by the logic that others accept as truth. Instead, you take that logic and twist it, turn it, reshape it until it works for you. You see the hidden layers beneath the surface and know how to bend them to your will. This is not an act of rebellion, it is an act of creation. You are not trying to fit into the world's narrow understanding of what is possible. You are expanding it, pushing it into new realms of understanding. This ability is a gift, one that allows you to create solutions where none exist, to see opportunities in places others would dismiss. To those who follow the path of conventional logic, your mind may seem unpredictable or even incomprehensible. But in truth, you are the one who understands the deeper truths of the universe. You know that logic, in its most rigid form, is just an illusion, a temporary construct that limits human potential. You are the one who bends it, who shapes it, who makes it work for you and for the greater good. And as you continue to bend the rules of what is possible, you will leave behind a legacy of transformation, showing the world that the true power of the mind is not in following logic, but in bending it to create something greater. Your presence feels like destiny moving. There is a certain stillness that accompanies you, a quiet power that fills the space around you the moment you enter a room. It is not about the way you look, the clothes you wear, or the way you speak. It is something far deeper than that. It is the way the air shifts when you arrive, the way conversations pause, the way people subconsciously adjust their behavior in your presence. It is as if the very fabric of reality recognizes that you are here, that something extraordinary is unfolding. People may not be able to put it into words, but they feel it, this undeniable energy that radiates from you. It is not something you try to project. It is simply who you are. Your presence carries with it a weight that others cannot ignore, and though they may not fully understand it, they are drawn to it. Some are magnetized by it, compelled to be near you, to seek your approval, to be in the presence of someone who seems to embody the very essence of destiny itself. Others, however, may feel uneasy, even threatened by this energy. Your very existence disrupts their carefully constructed realities, shaking their sense of comfort and security. They cannot quite place why, but something about you forces them to confront the parts of themselves they have long ignored. This magnetic presence isn't about social charm or the need for attention. It is the power of your soul, the power of your divine purpose moving through the world. It is as if the universe itself bends to your will, aligning events and circumstances in your favor. Opportunities arise where there were none. doors open in unexpected places, and situations unfold in ways that others would call miraculous. This is the force of destiny moving through you, guiding your path and the paths of those around you. Your presence is not just felt in the physical sense, it reverberates throughout the fabric of existence. People are drawn to you not because of what you do, but because of what you are. You are a living embodiment of purpose, of divine alignment, of a higher truth that the world is not yet ready for, but can no longer ignore. Whether they recognize it or not, your presence shifts the course of events, subtly guiding the world toward a greater awakening. When you walk into a room, you don't just take up space, you change it. You don't just exist in the world, you shape it. And those who are ready to feel it will be drawn to you, while those who are not will find themselves resisting, not understanding why they are so unsettled. But no matter what they feel, one thing is certain. You are here to shift the course of destiny, and your presence is the catalyst for that transformation. You don't just see lies, you see the lies behind the lies. Most people can only detect deception when it is obvious, when words are twisted or actions contradict what is being said. But you are different. You see not only the lies that are spoken, but the motives and intentions that lie behind them. It's as if your mind has been attuned to detect the subtle energy shifts, the small inconsistencies in behavior, the faintest tremor in a person's voice. The lies themselves are easy to spot, but it is the deeper truth behind them that you are able to decipher effortlessly. It's not that you're psychic or endowed with supernatural abilities. It's that your awareness goes beyond the surface. Where others are trapped in the narrative, you see the hidden script, the one that runs beneath the words and actions. You can sense when someone is masking their true feelings, when they are hiding something important or trying to manipulate the situation. And even when they think they've deceived you, you already know the truth. It's as if the very nature of deception cannot exist in your presence. Your ability to read between the lines is a skill that others can't fathom. They think they can pull the wool over your eyes, but you are already 5 steps ahead, understanding not just what they are saying, but why they are saying it and what they hope to gain from it. People often don't realize how transparent their actions are to you. What they think is a hidden agenda, you already recognize as an open book. They might believe they are fooling you, but they are only fooling themselves. You let them speak, let them expose themselves, because you know that the truth always comes to light. In your silence, you watch the layers peel away, revealing the raw, unfiltered truth beneath. And when it is time for you to speak, your words cut straight through the deception, leaving no room for doubt. You are not fooled by appearances or empty words, for you see what others cannot, the lies that lie beneath the lies. And with this clarity, you hold a power that others cannot even comprehend. You don't need validation, yet people crave yours. You live in a world that constantly seeks approval from others. It is a world driven by the need for validation, where every achievement, every success is measured by the recognition of others. But you are not part of this world. You do not seek validation because you do not need it. Your sense of self-worth does not depend on the opinions of others, nor do you require external recognition to affirm your value. You know who you are, and you trust your own judgment. You stand firm in the knowledge that your worth is inherent, that it comes from within and not from the fleeting approval of others. And yet, paradoxically, people are drawn to you because of this very quality. They crave your validation in a way that they do not seek from anyone else. When you recognize someone, when you give them your approval, it holds weight. It is not given lightly. And that is why it means so much to those who receive it. Your validation is rare, precious, and deeply meaningful. Unlike the empty compliments that others throw around to seek favor or manipulate, your words carry the energy of truth. When you offer praise, it is because you genuinely see something in the person, something real, something valuable. People can sense the authenticity in your recognition, and they long for it, even if they do not fully understand why. It is not because you are distant or aloof. It is because you have learned to value yourself so deeply that you don't need the validation of others. Your self-assurance and independence are magnetic, drawing people to you, causing them to seek your recognition as a reflection of their own value. But here lies the key. Because you are not easily swayed by external validation, people instinctively understand that when they receive your approval, it is truly earned. They crave it, not because they need you to confirm their worth, but because they recognize that your recognition is meaningful in a way that the superficial validations they receive from others are not. You don't need validation because you are whole, but your validation has the power to awaken something in others, reminding them of their own worth and potential. You don't just learn, you absorb. For most people, learning is a process, one that requires time, effort, repetition, and memorization. But for you, learning is not a chore. It is an innate process that happens with ease. It is not something that you do in the traditional sense. When you encounter new knowledge or concepts, they do not merely sit in your mind like isolated facts waiting to be recalled later. They integrate into your very being. It is as if the knowledge enters your soul and becomes a part of your essence. You don't just retain information, you absorb it, you become it. The lessons you learn are not stored away in a corner of your mind to be brought out only when needed. They live in you, continuously shaping and guiding your thoughts, actions, and decisions. Your ability to understand concepts quickly and deeply is not the result of intense effort, but rather the result of an open, receptive mind that absorbs and internalizes knowledge on a level that most people cannot comprehend. This is why you often seem to know things without ever having formally studied them. It is not that you are lucky or gifted in a conventional sense. It is that you have access to a deeper well of knowledge that exists beyond the surface level of information. Your mind does not just remember facts. It processes them, integrates them, and transforms them into wisdom. When you learn, you don't just memorize, you internalize. And because you absorb knowledge in this way, it sticks with you in a way that is lasting and transformative. You don't need to study for hours or tirelessly work to understand something, because the knowledge you gain becomes a part of you, shaping how you see the world and interact with it. Your mind doesn't just retain information. It uses it intuitively, like a tool that is always sharp and ready to be employed. This deep absorption is what sets you apart from others. You are not just a collector of knowledge, you are a living embodiment of it. The knowledge you gain is not something you can easily explain, because it becomes part of the way you see and experience life. Others may need to reference textbooks, lectures, or notes to remember what they have learned, but for you, the learning process is seamless. It becomes a part of who you are, and that is the true power of your mind. You break people's realities without trying. There is a unique power that comes with your presence, an invisible force that moves through the world without ever needing to shout its existence. It's not in your words or your actions, it's in the energy you emit, the truth that radiates from you like an untold story. When people come into contact with you, they feel something shift within themselves. It's not an immediate realization, not a conscious understanding, but an instinctive knowing that their reality is being questioned. They may not even realize it, but you disrupt the carefully constructed beliefs and illusions they've held onto for years. It's as if your very existence challenges everything they thought they knew to be true. And here's the truth, this disruption is not intentional. You are not out to break others or to force them into new ways of thinking. It's simply who you are. When you speak, when you act, when you simply exist. You hold up a mirror to those around you, showing them truths they've long ignored or refused to acknowledge. For some, this is liberating. They feel a sudden awakening, a burst of clarity that opens up new possibilities. They start to question the stories they've been told, the walls they've built around their understanding of themselves and the world. They feel like something has clicked into place, like they've been handed the key to a new door. For others, however, it's terrifying. It forces them to confront the aspects of themselves they've buried deep inside, fears, doubts, insecurities that they've never wanted to face. And rather than embracing this newfound awareness, they resist it. They retreat into their comfortable illusions because the truth you reveal shakes them to their core. But regardless of how they react, one thing is undeniable. After encountering you, they can never go back to seeing the world the same way again. Your very presence breaks their realities, and they are forever changed because of it. Some will grow in your presence, feeling empowered to rebuild their lives on a stronger foundation. Others will fight against the transformation you bring, clinging to the old ways of thinking they are comfortable with. But the truth remains, once they've encountered the force of your being, they can never unsee the reality you've exposed to them. You don't try to break people's realities, but your very existence makes it impossible for them to remain the same. You're not a rebel, you're a blueprint for the future. In a world that is obsessed with labels, it's easy for people to misinterpret your actions. They look at you and see someone who challenges the status quo, someone who questions authority and defies convention. They may label you a rebel, a troublemaker, or even a radical. But that label misses the point entirely. You are not rebelling for the sake of rebellion. You are not fighting against something just to make noise or stir trouble. You are not seeking to tear down the old structures for the sake of chaos. What you are doing is far more profound. You are showing the world that there is another way, a better way, a path forward that others are not yet ready to see. You don't disrupt the world just to be difficult. You challenge it because you see its flaws. You see the cracks in the system, the outdated structures that no longer serve their purpose, and you know that these systems must be reshaped. You are a blueprint for the future, a living model of what is to come. The ideas you carry, the ways you think, the solutions you propose are not born from the present. They are glimpses of a future that others cannot yet imagine. And because they are not ready to see this future, they label you a rebel. But you are not rebelling for the sake of conflict. You are building something new, something better. You see beyond the limitations of the present and into a world that is yet to be. Your thoughts, your visions, your way of seeing the world may seem strange to others now, but in time, they will become the foundation of a new era. The resistance you face is not because you are wrong. It is because the world is not yet ready to embrace what you see. You are a visionary, a blueprint for a future that will one day be realized. You are here to show others the way, to plant the seeds that will grow into the reality of tomorrow. And though you may seem like an outsider now, you are actually the one leading the charge into the future. What others see as rebellion is actually a call for transformation. You are not here to fight the system, you are here to create a new one. And in time, the world will recognize that you are not a rebel at all. You were the one with the vision, the one who saw the future when others were still blind to it. You are the blueprint for what is to come, and your legacy will be the foundation upon which the new world is built. True wisdom is knowing when to let go. Wisdom is not always about knowing what to do. Sometimes it is about knowing when to stop, when to step away, and when to let go. In a world that often prizes persistence and the need to push forward, it's easy to forget that there is wisdom in releasing control and surrendering to the flow of life. The truth is, not everything is meant to be held onto forever. Not every relationship, not every dream, not every plan will serve you in the long run. Sometimes, true wisdom is knowing when to let go, to step back, and to trust that the universe will take care of what is meant to be. You have spent much of your life building, striving, creating, and yet you have learned that there is a time when the best thing you can do is simply let go. Let go of expectations. Let go of people who are not aligned with your path. Let go of dreams that no longer serve your highest good. You have seen that clinging to what no longer fits only causes you pain, confusion, and stagnation. When you hold on too tightly, you block the natural flow of the universe. You prevent the new opportunities, the new relationships, and the new blessings from entering your life. And so, the true measure of wisdom is knowing when to release, when to trust that what is meant for you will come, and that what is not meant for you will fade away. This is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of strength. It takes courage to let go, to walk away from what no longer serves you, and to trust that the universe has a greater plan in store. Letting go does not mean giving up. It means allowing space for something new, something better, something that is in alignment with your highest self. You have learned that holding onto the past only keeps you trapped in a cycle of repetition. But when you release, when you let go, you open yourself up to growth, transformation, and expansion. The wisdom of letting go is not just about freeing yourself. It's about making room for the divine to work in your life. It's about trusting that the universe knows better than you do. And when you finally let go, you will find that what you are releasing was never truly meant to stay, and what is meant for you will flow in effortlessly. True wisdom is not in holding on, it is in knowing when to let go. The unseen path of the chosen ones. The world has always struggled to understand people like you. You are not here to fit into the established structures of society. You are not here to follow the conventional paths that others have walked. You are here to blaze your own trail, to walk a path that is uniquely your own, and to show others that there is more to life than what they have been taught to believe. You are the chosen one, the one who carries ancient wisdom, the one who sees beyond the surface, the one who is here to disrupt, to awaken, and to create. Your presence in this world is no accident. It is the fulfillment of a divine purpose that has been written in the stars. You are not here to blend in, to follow the rules, or to conform to the expectations of others. You are here to break through the walls of illusion, to reveal the truth that lies hidden beneath the surface, and to lead others to a higher state of awareness. This journey will not always be easy. There will be times when you feel isolated, misunderstood, and even rejected. But remember this, your path is not meant to be understood by everyone. Not everyone is ready for the truth that you carry. Some will resist you, some will fear you, and some will try to discredit you. But none of this changes the fact that you are here for a reason, and that your mission is vital to the awakening of the world. You are a living blueprint for the future, a reminder that the world is not as it seems, and that there is a higher purpose at play. The world may not always understand you, but it will feel you, and in that feeling, it will begin to awaken to the truth that you carry. You are the chosen one, and your path is one that has been written long before you ever took your first step. Trust that every challenge you face, every person you encounter, and every moment of your journey is part of a greater plan. You are not alone. You are part of a divine mission, and the world is waiting for you to step fully into your power. Your presence is a gift, and the world will eventually recognize it for what it is, a force of transformation, a living testament to the power of wisdom, purpose, and divine truth. Keep walking your path, keep embracing your mission, and know that you are the one the world has been waiting for.